A single decision can shatter an empire or rebuild a family you never knew existed. When power collides with buried secrets and loyalty is tested against the ghosts of the past, one choice will change everything forever. Before we dive into the story, make sure to hit subscribe button and like the video and tell us in the comments where are you watching from. Now, let's jump into the story. Mason Hale ran his company the way he ran his mornings, early, exact, and unforgiving if you tripped. By 7 a.m., he was in his corner office, a mug cooling beside contracts. He had the tired eyes of a single dad who kept showing up, and a wedding ring on a thin chain under his shirt. The summer interns lined outside the conference room. Dana Park, his COO, handed out badges. 20 minutes, then your call, she said. Make it 10, he replied. He noticed her at the end. Harper Wynn stood calm, chin up, a navy blazer that had seen more faith than tailoring. When her turn came, Dana read the sheet. Harper Wynn, Operations, City College, Data Analytics. Why here? Mason asked. Harper met his gaze. Because your distribution model leaks at the edges, she said. I think I can show you where. Mason nodded. We'll see. By lunch, the building had swallowed them into its rhythm. Passwords, desks, assignments. Harper landed in a back office with a humming printer and a view of brick. Mason moved to acquisition call and let numbers distract him. At 1:14 p.m., Dana buzzed. Security flagged a new login. An intern tried to pull archived partner files from nonprofit. Who? Harper. The compliance room was a pale box with a vending hum. Harper sat, badge on the table. Leon Cruz slid a printout to Mason. Unauthorized access, he said. Mason sat. What were you doing? Harper kept even. Matching nonprofit shipping routes to vendor kickbacks. Public reports were missing months in 2019. The internal archive filled the gaps. You didn't have authorization, he said. The system gave it, she replied. Someone left a temporary admin flag in onboarding. She wasn't wrong, but Mason felt that old thread in his chest pull tight. You crossed a line, he said. I saw a hole, she said. I tried to patch it. Turn in your badge, he said. You're done. She nodded, reached for the badge. As she did, something fell from her tote and clicked on the table. A small resin keychain with a pressed blue wildflower. She scooped it up, but he'd already seen it. Where did you get that? He asked. Thrift store on Elman 4th, she said. $2. Mason swallowed. Claire had made 5 of those in college. Cornflowers. He had one at home with a hairline crack. Another was buried with her. Keep it, Harper said. It's just a keychain. Looks familiar, he said, handing it back. Harper left. He finished the call, signed the agreement, texted his sitter about Theo, sat in copper light. He opened the bottom drawer, pulled out an old shoebox, and lifted a lid he had avoided all year. Inside, fragments, a hospital bracelet, a postcard from Maine, a grocery list in Claire's looping hand, and a resin keychain with a cracked cornflower. His fingers closed around it. He unlocked the small safe behind a framed photograph. Inside sat a manila envelope he had opened once and fled. Claire's letter, dated a month before their wedding. Mason, if you ever meet a girl named Harper Wynn, be kind to her. She is the piece of me I gave away when I was 19 and scared. I don't know if she will ever look for me. If she does, please don't let my silence be another closed door. In the envelope lay photocopies. Infant, female. Birth name, Harper. Adoptive surname, Wynn. Dates that matched the math he avoided. Claire had told him she'd had a hard year before they met. She had not told him this. Maybe she meant to. Maybe fear got there first. He called Dana. I need Harper Wynn's number, he said. That's messy, she replied. HR will. Please. A sigh. I'll text it. He dialed. It rang twice. Hello? Harper, this is Mason Hale, he said. I'm asking for 5 minutes. Not as your former boss. As a man who just realized he made a mistake bigger than policy. Silence. I don't need advice, she said. I'm not calling to correct you, he said. Meet me at Silvercup. I'll explain why I acted the way I did. And I'll tell you something I should have known years ago. 15 minutes, she said. Then I'm gone. 15, he said. He slid the letter back into the envelope, tucked the cracked keychain into his pocket next to his ring, and left. He walked the 6 blocks because engines felt too easy. Silvercup's windows glowed. Harper sat at a table. The keychain lay between them. You fired me, she said. I did, he said, and I'm sorry. For the firing or for the way you did it? Both. You said you had something to explain, she said. You were right about the leak, he said. You were wrong about the door. That's on both of us. That's not 5 minutes, she said. He set his phone down. Then here it is, he said. I think my late wife was your birth mother. Harper didn't move. Prove it, she said. He slid the letter across. She read the first line, then the second. When she looked up, her eyes held something he recognized from mirrors. Hope arguing with caution. I don't know what you want, she said. I don't know either, he said. But I know the door shouldn't be shut anymore. He watched Harper fold the letter back with careful fingers. She pushed it across the table, but her hand stayed there a beat too long, as if her skin had to argue with her mind before letting go. Claire Hale, she said quietly. I looked her up once. I saw her name on a company profile years ago and didn't think twice. I thought it was a coincidence. It wasn't, Mason said. She leaned back, exhaled through her nose. And now I'm supposed to what? Feel like I got family back? No, he said. You don't owe me anything. I just needed you to know she loved you enough to write about you. She wanted you to be found. Harper stared at the steam rising from her untouched coffee. And you? What do you want? Mason hesitated. I want to know you, he said. But if that's too much, I can live with it. Her jaw worked as though chewing on a thought. Finally, she nodded once. You have a kid, right? Theo, he's 7. Then I guess we can start with coffee. But I'm not promising Christmas cards. His chest eased just slightly. Coffee's a start. They stayed in the shop longer than either meant to, talking about nothing and everything. Harper admitted she'd grown up in Wisconsin, that she came to the city with a scholarship and a chipped mug from her foster mom. Mason told her Theo liked building forts out of sofa cushions and hated math homework, unless it involved pizza slices. When they stepped out, the sun had dropped low enough to turn the pavement gold. Harper's phone buzzed. She frowned. Problem? Mason asked. My sublet landlord wants the rent early, she said. I don't have it until Friday. I'll figure it out. Come by the office tomorrow, he said. We'll reinstate your internship. You'll get the stipend back. She shook her head. Feels like pity. Call it me fixing my mistake, he said. After a pause, she nodded. The next morning, Dana raised a brow when Harper walked in. That was fast, she said. Give her full access this time, Mason said. Supervised. She's not wrong about the leak. By Friday, Harper had traced 3 dummy invoices that matched Mason's suspicions about a vendor skimming off shipments. They brought in compliance, froze the accounts, and within days saved the company 6 figures. Dana caught Mason in the hallway. She's good, she said. Like scary good. Yeah, he said softly. Saturday was Theo's baseball game. The sun pressed hard. The grass smelled of chalk and heat. Mason stood at the fence, phone buzzing with updates from Dana. Harper showed up, backpack slung. You didn't have to come, he said. Figured if we're doing this coffee thing, I should meet the kid, she said. Theo struck out twice, then hit a single in the fifth. He spotted Harper and waved. She waved back. By the time the game ended, Theo had attached himself to her like Velcro. They grabbed ice cream at the corner stand. Harper got pistachio. Theo got chocolate and managed to smear half of it on her sleeve. She didn't complain. That night, Mason found himself staring at the envelope again. Claire's handwriting looked calmer than he remembered. He wondered if she'd been scared when she wrote it. Monday brought a storm. One of the vendors filed a complaint, claiming wrongful contract termination. A hearing was scheduled. Mason prepped evidence with Harper in the quiet of the boardroom after hours. "You ever think she would have told you?" Harper asked, eyes on the spreadsheets. "Claire?" he said. She nodded. "She was brave, but sometimes fear wins," he said. "I think she wanted to tell me when the time felt safe. She just ran out of time." Harper tapped her pen against the table. "My foster mom used to say, 'Secrets rot if you keep them too long.' Guess she was right." When the day of the hearing came, Mason walked in with Harper by his side. She presented her findings with a precision that silenced the vendor's lawyer. They won. Afterward, in the hallway, Mason said, "You didn't have to help." "You gave me a chance," she said. "I wanted to do something with it." He smiled faintly. "Claire would have liked you." Harper's expression softened just slightly. "She already did. Guess I'll take that." A week later, Mason invited Harper and Theo over for dinner. He cooked pasta badly, burned the garlic bread, and laughed when Theo declared it a crime. Harper stayed late, and when she left, the apartment felt less empty than it had in years. Then the call came. Dana, again. "You're not going to like this," she said. "The board is reviewing the vendor fallout. They think you moved too fast on the termination." "We had proof," he said. "They want to see it again, and they're calling an emergency vote. Tomorrow." When Mason hung up, Theo was asleep on the couch, cartoons still murmuring from the TV. Harper was rinsing dishes. "They might try to push me out," he said. She turned off the faucet. "Because you did the right thing?" "Because I did it fast enough to make enemies," he said. "Then we fight," she said. He looked at her. "You're in?" "You told me the door shouldn't be shut," she said. "Consider this me keeping it open." The boardroom smelled faintly of old polish and tension. 12 seats, 11 filled when Mason walked in. Tie straight, jaw locked. Harper trailed behind him with a folder tucked under her arm. Dana nodded once from her spot, the only silent show of support he'd get. The chairman, Raymond Slater, adjusted his glasses. "Mr. Hale, the vendor's legal threat exposed this company to risk. Your unilateral termination decision raised concerns about your judgment. Some members have proposed a leadership change." Mason clasped his hands. "With respect, that vendor was defrauding us." Harper Wynn uncovered falsified invoices that routed funds through shell accounts. "If I'd delayed, they'd have buried the trail. Our quick action saved this company $500,000. Slater's gaze shifted. "Miss Wynn, you are an intern. Do you stand by this claim?" Harper rose without flinching. "Yes, sir. I mapped the transactions myself. I'm happy to walk you through each step." For 45 minutes, she did just that. Clear, precise, no theatrics. By the time she finished, even the more skeptical directors had gone still. Slater leaned back. "Impressive work," he said. "But governance matters. Mr. Hale, you acted alone." Mason took a slow breath. "You can remove me if you want," he said. "But I won't apologize for protecting the company my team builds every day. Leadership isn't about keeping seats warm. It's about doing the hard thing when it's ugly." The vote was close, 6-5. Mason stayed. Outside the boardroom, his hands trembled. Harper handed him a bottle of water. "You look like you just ran a marathon," she said. "Feels like I did," he said. They walked out together into bright noon air. The city smelled of asphalt and rain. After that day, something shifted quietly. Harper wasn't just the intern anymore. She became a fixture, staying late, fielding Theo's questions about dinosaurs between emails. But one night changed everything. It was late, close to midnight, the office mostly dark. Mason had fallen asleep on the couch in his office. Harper shook him awake. "Theo's school just called," she said, breathless. "He's at the ER. Bike accident. They said he's okay, but they want you there." Mason's heart seized. They raced through silent streets, words few and clipped. The hospital smell hit him like an old ghost, antiseptic and fear. Theo sat propped on a bed, left arm wrapped, eyes heavy but ale. "Dad," he mumbled. Mason bent, kissed his forehead. "Hey, buddy, you scared me." Harper stood back, giving them space, but Theo reached for her free hand. She took it. "Can she stay?" Theo asked. Mason met her eyes. "If she wants to." "I do," she said softly. They sat until Theo slept. When they stepped into the hallway, Mason exhaled like he hadn't in years. "Thank you," he said. "You don't have to thank me," she said. "He's a good kid." "He's my whole life," he said. She nodded. She would have liked seeing this. Claire, I mean. He swallowed hard. Yeah, she would. After that, Harper came by the apartment often. Sometimes for dinner, sometimes just to sit on the floor with Theo, building Lego cities. Mason found himself watching her when she wasn't looking, noticing echoes of Claire that weren't about resemblance, but spirit. The same quiet defiance, the same way they both bit their lip when thinking. Then came the investor gala. Formal suits, glittering lights, conversations sharpened like knives. Harper stood near the bar in a black dress that made people look twice. She caught Mason staring and smirked. Dana approached. "Investors are whispering about the succession plan," she said. "I'm not going anywhere," Mason said. "Good," Dana replied, "because they think you are." The whispers grew louder as the night deepened. Someone mentioned the ER incident like it was scandalous he'd left work midweek. By dessert, one investor leaned close to Mason and said, "Single fathers don't run empires forever." Mason excused himself before his jaw cracked. He found Harper on the balcony overlooking the river. "They don't see you," she said. "Maybe they never did," he said. "Then make them," she said. "But do it on your terms." The next morning, Mason called a company-wide meeting. He stood in front of 300 people and spoke without notes. "This company isn't built on perfect people," he said. "It's built on relentless ones. People who get back up when it's inconvenient. People who care about more than margins. I'm staying, not because it's easy, but because I believe what we've built matters." Applause erupted. Later, in his office, Harper placed a small box on his desk. "What's this?" he asked. "Claire's college notebook," she said. "My foster mom kept it. I found it last weekend. Figured you should have it." Inside, pages full of sketches, distribution ideas, quotes about perseverance, a pressed cornflower taped to the back cover. Mason closed it gently. "Thank you." Harper leaned on the doorframe. "For what it's worth," she said, "I think she'd be proud of you." He looked up. "I think she'd be proud of you too." The weeks that followed blurred. Harper wrapped her internship, but Dana offered her a full-time role before the final day. She accepted. On her first official morning, Theo bounded into the office with Mason, holding a drawing of 3 stick figures labeled Us. Harper taped it to her desk. For the first time in years, Mason felt like something broken had quietly started to mend. 3 months later, the office felt different, lighter. The halls that used to echo with clipped footsteps now carried bursts of laughter from Theo visiting after school, and Harper's voice drifting from conference rooms as she explained systems she'd rebuilt from the ground up. Mason still arrived early, still stayed late, but now the long hours no longer felt hollow. On a Friday evening, when the building had mostly emptied, Harper stopped by his office. Her hair was loose from a long day, and her blazer hung over her arm. "I've been offered something," she said. Mason looked up from his laptop. "Offered? Stanford, MBA, full scholarship, starts in September." The words hit harder than he expected. He forced a smile. "That's incredible." "I haven't said yes," she said. "Why not?" She hesitated, then stepped closer. "Because for the first time in my life, I don't feel like I'm passing through somewhere. This feels steady. And I'm not sure I want to walk away from that." Mason leaned back, studying her. "You should go if it's what you want. You don't owe me staying." "It's not about owing," she said. "It's about not wanting to leave the first real place I've had." He swallowed. "Harper, Claire didn't write to me asking me to give you stability. She wanted you to have choice. If this is your dream, don't let fear of leaving stop you from going." Her eyes glimmered, but she nodded. "Okay, I'll think about it." They didn't speak of it again for a week. Life rolled on. Deals closed, reports filed. Theo lost a tooth and proudly showed everyone on the third floor. Yet Mason caught himself glancing toward Harper's desk more often, wondering if he could hold this version of life without gripping it so hard it broke. Then came the company summit. 300 employees packed into the downtown hall. Mason gave the opening keynote, steady and measured, until he called Harper on stage. 3 months ago, he said, this company nearly fractured. The person who stopped it was a 22-year-old intern who refused to be invisible. Harper, stand up here. She joined him, nervous but smiling. The room stood and clapped. Theo cheered from the front row. Afterward, on the quiet drive home, Harper sat in the passenger seat, watching the lights blur. I accepted Stanford, she said finally. Mason nodded once, eyes fixed ahead. Good, you'll be extraordinary. I don't want to disappear, she said. You won't, he said. You're not someone people forget. The summer passed in fragments. Boxes appeared by her desk. Her last day arrived faster than anyone liked. Theo sulked, pretending not to, and Mason stayed mostly quiet, unsure how to name the ache under his ribs. That night, Harper stopped by the apartment one last time. Theo had fallen asleep on the couch, halfway through a movie. She tucked the blanket over him gently. He's going to miss you, Mason said. I'll miss him too, she said. They stood in the doorway, the hum of the city faint below. When Claire wrote that letter, Harper said softly, she didn't ask you to find me. She asked you to be kind. You've been more than that. You didn't just open the door. You made room. His throat tightened. You gave us something back too. You gave us her. For a moment, neither moved. Then she smiled faintly. I should go before I lose my nerve. He opened the door for her, and she stepped into the hall. Harper, he said. She turned. No matter where you end up, he said, you'll always have somewhere to come back. Her smile wavered, but didn't break. Good, she said, because I think I finally want somewhere to return to. She left quietly. The door clicked shut. In the months after she was gone, Mason's days filled with meetings, bedtime stories, and moments of silence that felt less like emptiness and more like space. Sometimes he caught Theo drawing 3 figures, him, Mason, and Harper, and he never corrected it. A year later, on a gray autumn morning, an envelope arrived with a California postmark. Inside was a photo of Harper in front of Stanford's archways, graduation cap in hand, and a note in her sharp, determined handwriting. Mason, I made it through. I still carry the cornflower keychain. I still carry her. And I still carry the home you gave me when I didn't know I needed one. See you soon. He set the photo on his desk. The morning light caught on the frame, and for the first time in a long time, he let himself sit still, breathing in a world that had broken and healed into something new. So in a world that measures worth by titles and speed, this story reminds us that what truly changes lives is showing up for each other. If second chances and found family matter to you, subscribe to the channel, because we're just getting started telling the stories that prove hearts can rebuild what the world forgets.